superfluous, we can just shut up. Like, you don't have to say anything. As Malran caught a little bit here. Nuclear in for a bit of damage. The pillar coming down as well. Larson's going to join the fray. Comp in the mid lane. Syncroft dives forward. The Cyclone short. The Dazzle as well. The Rift Herald goes down and charges into that mid lane tower. Odo, meanwhile, is up towards that top side. And actually, BDS using the Rift Herald timing here to gain control over the Dragon Pit as well. Now, Odo can TP in, and remember, Syncroft just burnt his Flash and his Cyclone, so you don't have as many tools on BDS to get the damage down as you'd like. Nuclear in, caught, pops the stopwatch to get away from him. Dazzle, charm onto the backline by Limit, but there's the Cosmic Radiance once again. Larson coming down from the bottom side of this fight, and Nuclear in, it's already exploded. Dazzle, charm onto the backline by Limit again, and Cosmic Radiance just can't get away from it. Rogue with a good fight will pick up their first neutral of the game.
Rogue do a really good job collapsing on the flank of BDS, and a pillar is used to separate the front line from the back line, making it difficult for BDS to respond to Rogue collapsing in from the mid lane. Great fight from Rogue. They reclaim a lot of control. They'll secure a tier 1 tower and a big team fight win.
It was like BDS after they burnt the Flash and the Cyclone perhaps should have just cut their losses and got out of that one. Rogue now 1,500 gold ahead once again. Trimby was looking for something down towards this bottom side but couldn't quite find it. And now Rogue in the driver's seat of the game. Not truly in control completely. They're kind of swerving and skidding around a little bit, but they've got their hands back on the wheel and can take control of this game once again.
I think the important thing to take note of in that last fight was how Nuclear Ink didn't have that Flash.
Yeah.
And the second he was coming in from that flank, Rogue recognized he doesn't have Flash, and they immediately turn on him. And that's just good target selection. While he does pop the stopwatch, it's only delayed the inevitable, and a really good cleanse came out from Comp as well. So the moment he was charmed, even though he still did get knocked up, he was able to create a little bit of space, which meant that it was harder for Limit to get like a multi-man knockup and potentially set up a really great engage for BDS. So just overall, really well played fight for Rogue. Looking to secure the blue buff. They will get it. Syncroft really committal here.
Going very deep there, looking for some damage on Larson, who still had the Flash and the Spirit Rush. Maybe just trying to get one of those out. Trying to reduce the mobility of their Ahri, who can be such a slippery customer when it comes to fights.
They did get the all out from Ahri at the very least.
They did, yeah.
But they did, right?
Yeah, just expires, yeah.
So small advantage gained, but yeah, now we're kind of looking at a potential Baron or an X-Dragon. Things going to slow down a little bit. You know, Medic?
I don't.
You know what we've missed?
What have we missed? Many intros? I agree.
My Welsh accent.
Oh, bring it back. Okay, words are hard.
How about, tell you what, I'll do the next team fight.
Okay, sure.
And you do the analysis.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, yeah?
Do you want me to do analysis in your style?
Do I have a style?
Every color caster has a style.
Do I? And just, I'm fascinated to hear what you think.
Well, K-Droll, if you're K-Droll, it's the interject a lot in the middle of a team fight, shouting words. So
okay,
I
here
can
we go.
do
Limit coming in from the flank. Oh, great flash
the
from Comp. He's able to dodge out the way.
He's going.
The stun comes through.
Look at the damage.
trying to escape. What's he going to do? Oh, he gets the fate score from Comp. Oh, he's going to throw him back in. Oh, but Trimby, look at him. He swags out of there. Not a care in the world. Break it down for us, Medic.
Yeah, obviously, we'll wait for the replay because it actually looks like Syncroft and BDS are going to look for something more.
On, Medic is available. Good spell shield there from Xmati, but can he get away? He flashes out. Larson now diving in. The Cosmic Radiance comes in. 3-man knockup from Limit, but it's not enough indeed. This fight is not looking good for Rogue. Aggressivo on the back line. Oh no, Omne goes down. The fight is being dominated by BDS, and Rogue have to run away.
And the problem for Rogue is they should have just cancelled it. Comp now trying to get away, but he can't do it. Oh, that was lovely. Pog, let's go, man.
A beautiful team fight for BDS indeed. And it all comes back down to this front-to-back angle. The reality is...
This is my job. What are you doing?
True, yeah, run us through this, Medic.
Yeah, so we'll have a look at this, and you can see, after Limit finds this initial engage, Rogue are able to disengage well with the flash away. Trimby goes in, but now you've invested both Comp's flash and the Fate's Call afterwards. So Rogue don't have those tools when they look for the re-engage. The start of the re-engage is good, but what BDS realizes, they still have Cyclone, they still have the ability to get on the backline, and this spell shield from Xmati is perfect. He then flashes away, disengages, doesn't have to be involved in the fight. The Cosmic Radiance comes down, and as it expires, Xmati steps forward once again.
And you can see Aggressivo getting onto the back line as well, creates so much space for BDS. Absolutely beautiful.
It really was.
Just great execution overall. And then it just comes down to the chase down from BDS. And this is what we were talking about, right? When it comes to that backline access. Look at the enthusiasm on Krabs' face. He really lit up when they won that team fight, didn't he? It was just like, he was like, wow.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Wow.
Speechless.
Speechless.
Sometimes, you know the word of awesome comes from the word awe, where you're so
in awe.
You're so in awe
So
that
in
you just
awe.
can't react.
Another engage comes in from Limit. Medic, you take this one.
Tremby puts the dazzle down. There's the face call as well. Tremby can look for a re-engage. Synchrof going in, there's the charm as well. Odo comes in from the side and Limit will be able to dash away from this. So what have we used? Face call has gone down. Second cyclone. Beautiful knockup. Tremby already fallen. No cosmic radiance for him as well as that's still on cooldown. And now Odo on there in the midst of 5 is dies once again. X, Matty and BDS are playing these fights brilliantly.
BDS with a beautiful fight
We're
once
keeping
again.
the accent, are we?
Well, I
Okay.
can't turn it off now. I actually can't. It's just, it is what it is, you know? Just another great fight from BDS. The front to back was absolutely flawless.
I mean, importantly as well, Cosmic Radiance is a really long cooldown, so it's not back up for that fight. So even though
it's up.
like now, yes, now it's up. I'm sure
Little
Trimby's
too late
looking
though,
at
isn't
me
it?
like, oh, I'll use it now.
Oh,
It's like,
shucks.
lag.
Oh, shucks. Let's have a look at this engage here from Limit. It's one of the beautiful things about Rakan. You can just kind of set up that play initially. Good fate score from Cock to keep his teammate alive. The pillar looks good, but the flash once again from Limit to actually get that secondary charm off, and then Odoamne finds himself up a creek without a paddle. This knockup from Synchrof completely catches Shrimby and Combo off guard. And then BDS are able to run down Rogue once again.
I'd love to hear the comms in that section because I think Agresivo hits the shuriken on Trimby and then they re-engage. Like, okay, we can go, we can burst him down if he does have that Cosmic Radiance back up, and that's exactly what happens for BDS. They are now 1,400 gold in the lead. They are looking to stop Rogue's march towards that first place spot. Would be their 4th first out of the last 5 splits in the regular season if they can find it. Guarantee them that spot in Worlds, but for the moment, BDS keeping them on that back.
Teams have this horrible habit of underestimating.
Horrible habit.
I mean, it's just what happens, you know? Yeah.
Can you say the really long
No,
name?
everyone asks me, and I'm tired of that admit, right? It's not funny, and actually I find it quite offensive.
I'm not. If you ask me to say London, I would say London. I'm just asking if you can say the name of a city.
Yeah, but it's like Llanfair, Gwynedd, I can't remember.
Gwynedd Paltrow?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Well, if you don't know, by the
Don't
way,
ask me,
there's a
by the
really long name of a place in Wales, and it has like 7
I will have to also say, some people will let you to believe the microwave is poverty paying in Welsh. That's not true. I don't know who said it, but it's not true, okay? There's another word for microwave. I don't know what it is, but it's not poverty paying, alright?
Is it microwave?
Yeah.
It's kind of what the Welsh tend to do with
No,
it.
stop it. They're setting up for another fight. Synchrof. Oh, I will be spotted out here on like a throw ward.
They also know Agresivo's down towards that bottom side of the map. Does have the TP. Synchrof dashes onto Larson. No ult, no flash used for the army. Now BDS trying to gain control once again of the river. That ward outside the pit is one that can often cause teams a little bit of bother. Scuppers their intentions of starting up the Baron because
Scuppers. Yeah.
I'm just trying to go through my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Just like
You're
bring
being
out
very
different
English
words.
and I'm being
Yeah.
very Welsh. I like it. Scuppers. It's cute.
Cad. Cad is my favorite English word, I think.
What is cat?
It's just like an ungentlemanly person. You're such a cad, founder. Can't believe you'd do that.
How queen. Let's have a look at this wave state right now. BDS have a really good push up towards the top side of the map. They will finally spot out that ward. Are they going to start this one off? It looks like they will. Agresivo, though, could get caught out. He is spotted on a ward. The dance around the Baron is very close. We've seen BDS Barons in the past, and here comes Larson.
Larson going in, Limit dodging away. Next man is going to burn the flash early here, and Rogue will look to disengage. And Receiver coming in from the flank. That's good. For Rogue, they get X-Maddie's flash.
With the ult invested from Larson. Watch out for next BD. He gets slowed. BDS looking.
Synchro, Limit going in. Oh, the pillar! Oh, that's disgusting. As dirty as the pillar Marangs play. Stops the engage from Limit. No way for BDS to advance.
As the pillar comes up, the charm comes through and interrupts the dash from Limit. Just a beautiful combo there coming in from Larson and Malrang to interrupt and deny that engage. Now there's an opportunity for them to start the Baron. They're not going to go for it though. Instead they're going to focus on catching these waves. Can you show us how much gold right now Rogue is sitting on? Right, they're not sitting on... Well, actually, that's 1,500 sitting on that for Con. I imagine he wants to go back and spend it before another big fight happens.
And he's going to do that. Has a Zeo now, alongside his Wits End Ginsu's.
Oh, and the Death Cap as well for Larssen.
I mean, Aggressivo, can you win this? Demonic Embrace, Riftmaker into Shadow Flame, Riftmaker, Verdant Barrier. I will note the fact that Odoamne went for a little bit of magic resist early in this game as well to try and deal with Aggressivo in lane.
Everyone is on the map, seeing Summoner spells. Synchro snuck his way in behind.
I mean, this is actually really smart play by BDS because you kind of know the Rogue have invested most of their vision up towards the Baron earlier on, right? So now you can work your way down towards this bottom side, get vision control around where the dragon's about to spawn, and it makes it hard for Rogue to step into this darkness. Obviously, it's only the third dragon of the game for BDS, so it doesn't matter too much.
The only thing is here, though, is that because that bot tower is still up, it means that Odoamne can still catch the wave, push it out, and they still have access into the river, either through mid or through bot. Now that they've been spotted around this bush, Odoamne is the one that needs to be careful. Synchron.
Look for Larssen. Frost from Larssen dodges away with the Spirit Rush now as well. Maddie off towards the backline. Watch him, he's got no flash, remember. Dazzle coming out. Demonic Ascension from Nuclear into the stopwatch. He's going to heal up quite a bit in the middle of this fight. Maddie though has to retreat, has to get out of here. Trimpy the first to fall. Maddie now trying to step forward with the rest of BDS. Odoamne trying to get away, but he can't escape today. 2 for 1 so far. Maurang caught up with a never move, and it's exactly that move back to the fountain. BDS pick up 3.
And another big fight for BDS. They're just able to buy so much time. Nuclear, even though he gets engaged on the stopwatch, the amount of healing that he gets back is so difficult to deal with. And BDS, they can now make their way towards the Baron. Rogue will take a consolation prize with the dragon, but it doesn't matter. BDS in firm control of the game.
The Baron, a 3,500 gold lead for them as well, all off the back of this fight. And I thought after the initial engage, BDS would be on the back foot, but they still found avenues to approach the fight.
Yeah, you can see a bit of panic there from Larssen. He burns 2 summoner dashes immediately, gets a good charm off here, and you think they can get that initial kill, but look, the stopwatch comes through and now he's just buying time. Aggressivo causing so much damage and pain on the backside. And the moment that the ultimate for Trippy disappears, he finds that initial execute. And while another good charm comes through from Larssen, Odoamne is left to fight 1 versus 4, and this is where BDS can just play that typical front to back, and they're able to come out on top.
The threat that Aggressivo puts on the backline just seems to be slightly greater than Odoamne right now. Aggressivo having a stormer of a game up towards that top side, constantly finding who he needs to find. BDS now pushing down towards the bottom side. It wouldn't be a story if the 3 wins they get in the split are Rogue, G2, and XL.
It's just another day in the office.
Yeah, that's just BDS things, man. Just BDS things. They've been beaten up quite a lot this season, but yeah, seems to be they're the ones doing the beating. Pushing down towards this bottom lane, 4,000 gold in the lead. They take the tier 2, and Xmaddie with 4 items complete is an absolute howitzer of a Civet right now.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about BDS's comp is it's just so simple in terms of his execution. You basically just stand there and hit. Trippy takes a lot of damage, Odo goes in.
Xmaddie just runs away. On the hunt, popped, Odo keeps looking for it. And Xmaddie will still have the GA to come back. Cosmic Radius going down, Nuclear goes into the Demonic Ascension. Xmaddie, you're going to be able to get away from this one. Yes, you are. Stunned up, and he's just healing through it all. Ricochet after Ricochet finds its mark. Hit in the face with a boomerang. Rogue can do nothing about it. BDS, the inevitable march towards the Nexus Towers in their eyes for only the 3rd time in summer. BDS will reign victorious, and to do it, they went through Rogue.
Well, I mean, it all comes back down to that top.
Please stop with the Welsh.
I wish I could turn it off, but I can't. BDS. There it is. I've got it back now. BDS with a great comeback victory, ultimately. They got dived on, top lane, and they were able to get 3 kills off the back of it. And honestly, that was the big swing factor. The second that they got that initial kill, or set of kills rather, is when their comp really came online. You can see how much harder it was for Rogue to play. We talked about how easy it is for BDS rather to execute this comp, and it really was just kind of stand still, hit the front line, while Aggressivo just causes chaos on the back line. And it was well played. They're going to continue to disrupt the top of the table. Rogue's chances of securing first place have now suddenly become a lot harder.
I mean, they're not in their hands at all. Like, anyone else takes 2 wins of the last 2 games, a Rogue will not be first. And
what are the chances of that happening at this point?
It's true. That is true. Great play, of course, by BDS. Your key player of the game votes at NBC on Twitter. Synchro, Nuclear, and Xmati are your options. Yeah, all of them had really good performances. I think Xmati did exactly what he needed to in those fights. Nuclear also. With the Swain was able to be disruptive.
Limit with a lot of good engages.
Yeah.
Receiver, I think, did a lot of great work on the backline.
Synchro,
Really was
Cyclones. It was a team effort.
It was a great team effort overall from, yeah, and Progue also helped.
I mean, over to the future.
I still love the level 2 gank top lane.
Oh no, Rogue's early game was amazing until they went for the dive. And it was like, what is this
and that was just pure disrespect, I think. Like, the dive was just way too overconfident. The execution of it was poor. And, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the dive, ultimately, from Rogue.
I don't think Rogue were either. Retrospect, BDS, though, the happy recipients of a slight advantage from that dive. And obviously, through the rest of the day, we'll continue to see how the playoffs look. But this game, not too important for BDS.
The biggest benefactors of all this are G2
Misfits,
right now.
Mad.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy that we don't have a clear first place in Europe.
But usually it's like one team is at
happened.
15 wins or 13 wins, then another team is like 10.
Historically, even with the best of one format, there have always been teams that like just typically do better than the other teams.
Yes.
Even in shaky seasons, like with the G2s and the Fnatics of the past, like they've usually finished near the top. We've never quite had this much inconsistency amongst all our teams.
Very true. Welshers, can you come back for the throw to interview?
I
Come on,
can't,
bring it back.
I won't lose
bring it back. Bring it back, quick.
Let's go out to an interview with Law.
Wasn't Welshers.
Thank you, Vidi. Synchro, please explain to me. This was such a convincing win, honestly. Kudos on BDS, but I have to ask, I know that in spring, the second you guys were out of playoffs, Rabs was really not happy about this because you guys kind of gave up on trying. How is it different this time when you think about the attitude?
I mean, you know, it's like it's not spring anymore. You cannot like prove yourself. There's nothing after summer, yeah. So basically, for me, it's just like fighting for a job, you know. Because yeah, like this split was kind of disaster for me and for the team. I think we didn't play good. So yeah, I think right now just everyone wants to prove themselves, kinda that they belong here, yeah, in LEC. And yeah, that's basically it, you know.
All right, so tell me how it's going because you're building a resume for next year. Do you think it's solid enough now?
Wait, could you repeat, sorry?
You told me that you were working for a job for next year. So how is the resume building going for next year?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it's not up to me to judge. I mean, like I said, I think I didn't had a good split. I kind of lost my head at like confidence in the middle. I mean, it's kind of hard when you start like 0-5 or 1-4. It's really hard, you know. So for me, it's the first time when I actually have this feeling that sometimes I'm not even like enjoying the league, yeah. So I'm actually happy that the split is kind of over, so I can chill, reset my mind, and just go with the fresh mindset, yeah, for the next year.
Reset is often necessary, especially when you have a bad year. But I mean, when you see that you're able to grab wins like this, especially against the top of the table, isn't that a silver lining for you? Doesn't it make you feel better, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like I said, I think individually we are not bad. It's just a team effort, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, we fucked up. Oh, sorry.
No one heard that. It's fine.
We failed at the beginning, yeah, of the split in terms of like maybe like preparation or just the approach, yeah, towards the training. Maybe we just didn't do like 100% effort, yeah, and then it showed up on the stage. And obviously, if you lose and lose more games, especially on stage, then you just lose the confidence, you know, and then it's just it's
right.
like kind of over.
I get that, but okay, something maybe that's gonna make you feel better. You got the Kia Player of the Game here,
Oh,
and
really?
just I know that before the interview.
Wow, nice.
Before the interview, you were telling me about the Carmine Court flag in the audience,
Yeah.
which reminds me of the best time I saw you on the Rift. But I feel like even though you went through difficulties this year, this is a moment to learn. So talk to me about the experience in BDS and what you learned, even though the year may have been difficult for you.
Well, yeah, so like you mentioned, thank you for the K-Core fans that are still like cheering for me, I guess.
Right.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, last year for me it was like really amazing. I was winning a lot, so for me it's just like learning experience because I actually never lost that many games before, especially in LEC, you know. I don't know, my record's like 8 wins and 40 losses in LEC, so it's disaster, you know. So yeah, it's just like humbling experience, I would say, you know. And yeah, like you said, I just need to take everything from these losses, just rewatch the split, when there is off-season, and that's basically it, you know. I can't do much, like more than that, yeah.
Mental reset, and on a good note tomorrow, maybe against the Mad Lions, and then yeah, go to a break and come back stronger next year.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
mean, we're
hope
just
for you,
gonna
Syncroft.
just try to make them sweat,
Yeah.
yeah, for the first place. Yeah, I think they're
It
fighting
is.
for the first place. So, yeah.
Make them sweat. Syncroft, thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
interview. Good luck tomorrow. And let's take a break now, and we'll be back after the break for a very important game between Excel and SK Gaming. Stay tuned.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
If we lose one more game, we're basically out of playoffs, so let's just start winning every single game from now on.
What does this mean for Excel playoffs?
The desire to see
An ally has been slain.
and experience more. It's in our nature to seek a wider perspective. Innovation that broadens your horizons. The all-new Sportage.
Kia, movement that inspires.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy is legendary.
And welcome back to the LEC. We're ahead of our game between SK and XL. We will be breaking down a little bit of the early game we've seen recently come through from XL. Because despite them not getting the victories, the early game has still been good. And I wanted to highlight why that is. So we'll dive right into the play where we're in a situation where the bot lane is being shoved in by Patrick. This allows Mickey to then roam around because there'll be a roam timer for him where the enemy winning wave is bouncing back. So as you can see, Patrick's gonna shove it in. Crucially, Mickey destroys a ward. And now with Mickey destroying a ward, that actually gives Larsen the information that, you know what, Mickey, he's actually coming through from the bot side. So Larsen, he's gonna just path off towards the top side, be on the opposite end of the lane, which should make it harder for Mickey. But what Noobdog then does is the fact that he'll actually move himself up here, get into a position where he can set up the CC, and then afterwards Mickey can come through. Very intelligently done by Noobdog here in this scenario because Larsen not expecting it, and he's forced to blow the summoners of Ghost and Flash has been popped. That brings us into the next scenario, of course, where all of a sudden we have the same kind of scenario. Bot lane had previously been pushed in. That allows now once again Mickey to get out on a roam timer. Bot lane is being shoved in, which means this roam timer will be matched by Trimby, but Mickey will be on the play first. As you can crucially see with the junglers as well, they're on each opposite side of the map, as both mid laners at this point in time does not have flash. So this is all going to be about who strikes first, who's the first on the move, who sets it up, and Noobdog actually plays this beautifully once again, dodging out on both the Flak and Drag and the Rock at the same time. And now talking about those supports coming in, Mickey is here first. And that allows them to come into a situation where, you know, on the side of the enemy support with Trimby, he couldn't just move himself down from the bot lane into the mid lane and be there to trade 1 for 1. Essentially, they trade 2 for 0. And this is one of the reasons why XL early games, they've been so great, they've been so brilliantly good at it.
Hang on. Early game in XL, because the early game is fine. But hang on, I'm going to show you what actually happens to XL when we get into the later portion of the game. Because what happens is, every single time, they get these early leads, and then they throw it away. They decide to go for these weird invade times where they have no vision, they have no idea where the enemy is, and then they could get completely outmatched. And this isn't the first time this happened yesterday, happens against Astralis, it's happened too often now, and I'm sick of it because we get such good early games for XL, and then to have them completely bottle it every time they get into the mid game because of these mistakes is just heartbreaking to see. And you can see from this clip, they go for this invade, they blow all of their early pick opportunities, and then they start trying to move in towards a dragon fight where Rogue absolutely dominate them. And this is where that Rogue team fight was able to bring them back into the game. So for me, I definitely need to see XL not only cleaning up the early game a little bit, but also seeing that the mid game can find that success that can grow on the strength of what has been that early stage.
I like it. We've got the good cop and the bad cop about XL, but I think it's going to be a big focal point into this one because XL is up versus SK, and when it